It is 7 o'clock p.m. We'll reconvene from closed meeting. We'll go to item 4. Board protocol will be read by me, of course, board president. The Board of Trustees of LaPorte Independent School District is now convened. I wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present. Every student's success is our number one priority. As LaPorte ISD Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals, adopt policy, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and communicate the district's vision and success to the community. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. School board meetings are open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. Audience participation is limited to the patron presentation portion of the meeting. Board members may not respond to the public comment section. These proceedings may be recorded, and I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking. Thank you for taking time this evening to join us and for your interest in LaPorte Independent School District. At this time, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you join me in the pledge to the United States flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. For the invocation, I also will be giving the invocation. If you please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather here today, we thank you for fellowship and family. We ask that you strengthen us, restore us, and inspire us with your love. Lord, would you fill us with your peace as we work to become a stronger team for the benefit of our students, employees, and community. As we share together, may you guide us by your Holy Spirit and lead us into all truth. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. We go to item 5, board recognitions. And tonight we have a performance by our LaPorte Elementary students.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You picked a wonderful night to come. I heard them rehearsing for the last hour, so you're in for a real treat. The LaPorte Elementary School Music Ensemble under the direction of Kathy Parisher.
Good evening. We're so glad to be here. I know you've had lots of choirs come and sing for you. Tonight I'm going to show you more like what music class is like, okay? So I have 5th graders on the instruments, I have 3rd graders singing. And if you noticed, before we started, this group over here was playing a little game. It was called Oakley Sonnet. That's the name of the first song we're going to do. It has one word in the whole song, Oakley Sonnet. It's kind of funny because translated it means I hit my hand on the rock. Because instead of beanbags, in Africa, they passed rocks, okay? So, Oakley Sonnet. Here we go. Oakley Sonnet. We're gonna go over both
Sure.
ways.
I'm really good about it. Sure.
Okay, sure.
This guy here too.
Students, you're gonna teach them their part. Teach them what they do. Teach them what they do. Awesome. These are our well, the other person's not. Dr. Jackson, your friend sits right here. Mr. Martin, are you ready? He's my next door neighbor. Here we go. This is a song that I wrote with a friend, Rachel Sam, on our way back from the TMEA convention. Thank you, Board, for letting us go to TMEA convention. We got inspired. Okay? So the name of this song is Take the Time to Be Kind. I wrote the chorus, and a couple of kids wrote the verses. Charles wrote the first verse, Janine wrote the second verse, and we're just going to see what happens here. So I don't see Ella, but she's there somewhere. Ella, would you play the first phrase? I'll sing the first chorus. Take the time to be kind, keep others in mind. Soon you will find it's a better world for you and me. And the first verse, let's sing it without the instruments in the ear. Charles wrote this verse. Ready? And I'll open the door for you, for a better world for you and me. And Janine wrote the second verse. Ready? I'll help you, you help me, for a better world for you and me. All right, where's Julie? A better world for you and me. A better world for you and me. A better world for you and me. A better, join in, Mr. Tanner, whenever you can. A better world for you and me.
Take the time to be kind, keep others in mind. Soon you will find a better world for you and me. Take the time to be kind, keep others better world for you and me. A better world for you and me. A better world for you and me. A better world for you and me.
Wait, let's go to the fire. Hey. Yeah, come over here.
Closer, get closer.
Yeah.
Gene, you gotta move, they can't see you. Look at that, what a good one. I wanted to. Oh, yeah. Let me. When you push the hard.
Yeah, because they got some student recognition.
She did awesome. She did awesome.
Well, that was fun. It was really fun. We have some student recognitions tonight. If you follow us on any social media, you've seen all of the art awards that have been handed out, earned lately by our wonderful students. With that, I present to you Mr. Matthew Burke, Director of Performing and Visual Arts.
Thank you, Adam. For the 10th consecutive year, LaPorte ISD has received the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo's School Art Super Show Award. This award requires strict adherence to rules and regulations, overall presentation of our show, and the quality and the amount of student artwork presented. 2022 success has cemented LaPorte ISD membership into the HLSR, Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, School Art Hall of Fame. Tonight, 8 LaPorte ISD art students received honors for their 2022 Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Art Show entries, which were displayed in the Hayloft Gallery at NRG throughout the entire rodeo. These students, when you hear your names, if you're here, could you please come up and Dr. Wally will give you a certificate and just line up here. And if we could hold our applause till we get through some of these, because there's several. Ethan from our elementary division, Ethan Hoffman, College Park Elementary, Best of Show, and his teacher was Gianna Lewis. Or you can applaud, doesn't matter. That's fine. I like that as well. Just line up right here, bud. Okay. Elementary, Katie Anderson from Heritage Elementary School, gold medal. Her sponsor is Mrs. Jamie Leupold. From our junior high division, Zoe Lucas from James H. Baker 6th grade campus, gold medal. Her teacher was Miss Meredith Sandifer. From Lomax Junior High, John Stakes, best of show. His teacher was Jessica Little. Is John here tonight? Okay. Make sure he gets his certificate. From our high school division, Leslie Torres, LaPorte High School, best of show. Teacher Yadavi Barasa. Dana Garcia, LaPorte High School, gold medal. Teacher Christina Tadaro. Is Dana here? Okay. From LaPorte High School, gold medal, Brianna Limon. Or is it, how do you pronounce that? Limon, I'm sorry, Limon. Gold medal, Christina Tadaro. From LaPorte High School, Alyssa LeGrand. LaPorte High School, special merit, Christina Tadaro. We have several more awards. The Harris County Department of Education serves as the regional sponsor of the Scholastic Arts Awards Program, which was established in 1923. This program hosts yearly judging and award ceremonies for thousands of writing and art entries submitted by Harris County teens. Three LaPorte High School art students have received honorable mention in the esteemed Scholastic Art and Writing Award. Senior Alyssa LeGrand, Junior Cash Lusk, and Candace Lynch. Both of these students won awards for the pencil, digital art, and oil paint, respectively. Moving on to Kayla Juarez, LaPorte High School 9th grade student, won our inaugural Bulldog Coloring Book Design Pages and Coffee Mug Design Contest. Candace Lynch, LaPorte High School 11th grade student, won the 2021 LaPorte ISD Christmas Card Design Contest. Daniela Vasquez, LaPorte High School senior, won the Bulldog Coloring Book Cover Contest. These are our visual arts students. Please give them another round of applause. Our district art show, just kind of a public service announcement. Our district art show is May 3rd, Tuesday, May the 3rd, from 5:30 to 7 in the James H. Baker campus library. It's open, and it's a come and go as you please. Also have a few other announcements. Some other performing arts honors that we like to recognize this evening. 9 performing district music art programs have thus far earned UIL sweepstakes honors at the junior high and high school level, with 11 total groups receiving the sight reading first division honors. UIL Concert and Sight Reading Sweepstakes Awards went to LaPorte Junior High Band, Lomax Junior High Band, LaPorte High School Mixed Varsity Choir, LaPorte High School Treble Girls Varsity Choir, Lomax Junior High Choir, all 3 LaPorte High School orchestras, sub-non-varsity, non-varsity, and varsity, and the Lomax Junior High Orchestra. The LaPorte High School Band will be competing in 3 weeks at April 26, 27, and 28. In fact, their pre-UIL concert is going on right now at the high school. So, and one other accolade we'd love to talk about tonight. The LaPorte High School one-act play advanced from zone competition to district competition. LaPorte ISD is truly a place for the fine arts. Thank you very much.
Here, I'll move over.
There we go.
I have to let my short friends get closer.
Great job.
Would you direct them Ladies and gentlemen, we have another recognition this evening. National Assistant Principals Week is this week, April the 4th through the 8th, and we're honoring the enormous contributions of our assistant principals to student success. This year, our celebration takes on even greater significance as we recognize what assistant principals have conquered amid the pandemic and consider what their ever-expanding and evolving role might look like moving forward. Through it all, LaPorte ISD's assistant principals have demonstrated unwavering leadership, becoming a source of strength and inspiration for us all. I'm going to get my handy-dandy clicker. First, Mary Garza, assistant principal, Bayshore Elementary School. Eva Galvan, assistant principal, College Park Elementary School. Jennifer Barker, assistant principal, Heritage Elementary. Karen Lawley, assistant principal, LaPorte Elementary. Tammy King, assistant principal, Lomax Elementary School. Stephanie Davis, assistant principal, Jenny Reed Elementary. Janet Freeman, assistant principal, Leo A. Rizzuto Elementary. Janelle Tarr, assistant principal of James H. Baker 6th grade campus. From LaPorte Junior High School, we honor Jennifer Ingalls, associate principal of LaPorte Junior High. Also, we honor Jose Molina, assistant principal, LaPorte Junior High. From Lomax Junior High, Dr. Ram Crespo, associate principal of Lomax Junior. And assistant principal, Lomax Junior High, Stephanie Brown. From LaPorte High School, Dr. Thad Mitchell, associate principal. Mr. Stacy Joseph, assistant principal, LaPorte High School.
They're all either working or resting.
Juliana Lee, assistant principal, LaPorte High School. Ms. Nakiba George, assistant principal, LaPorte High School. Monica Martinez, assistant principal, LaPorte High School. And finally, Yesenia De La Cruz, assistant principal, LaPorte High School. They really are working or resting. Wow. Thank y'all for everything that you do. Can you please, we would love a picture with you and our Board of Trustees. Yeah, y'all, let's.
stepped on a thing from my purse.
Board, without without objection from the board, I'd like to move to item 9A, action or discussion item, approve hiring of Deputy Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction and Deputy Superintendent of Administration and Support Services. Okay, and, huh?
Do you want to go to comments first or no?
No.
Okay.
If you want to speak on them, then we'll make a motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You speak to them.
So board and members of the audience, 3 words that describe Dustin Bromley are motivational, inspiring, and passionate. Mr. Bromley was born and raised in a small town in Kansas, and the value of hard work and determination was instilled in him in an early age. Dustin began his career as a teacher coach at North Shore Senior High School. His infectious and gregarious personality, coupled with his brilliance, helped him to professionally advance. He has worked as an assistant principal at Galena Park High School, and he served as the popular Crosby High School principal. In his current role, he serves as the Executive Director of Operations in Crosby ISD. Mr. Bromley earned a bachelor's degree in education from Oklahoma State University, a master's degree in administration from Lamar University, and in June, he will become Dr. Bromley and complete the Doctor of Education degree from Lamar University. Mr. Bromley possesses a wide range of knowledge and experience that will allow him to be a major contributor to the future success of LaPorte ISD. Dustin's experience lies in successfully developing and implementing new processes, significantly expanding current practices, and managing all programs to maximize efficiency and realize consistent growth. Mr. Bromley is adept in overseeing a full range of operational responsibilities, including transportation, maintenance and facilities, safety, security, nutrition, and construction. I strongly believe Mr. Bromley will be a wonderful addition to the LaPorte ISD family in the role of Deputy Superintendent for Administration and Support Services. I ask that the board join me in welcoming Mr. Dustin Bromley to our LaPorte family. Let's give him a hand. Just introduce if you brought some guests with us, and board's going to take a vote in a minute.
What a cutie.
Great night to be here. Good to see all the faces of the campus. So again, thank you for going, Dr. Jackson. I'm looking forward to getting after.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Looking
sir.
forward to getting after
Yes,
it. I
sir.
like that.
Thank you. Board, I'd also like to introduce to you Dr. Rebecca Brown. Dr. Rebecca Brown has over 27 years' experience in education, with 20 of those years serving in educational leadership roles in both large and smaller 6A school districts. Dr. Brown's vast leadership experiences have allowed her to work in leadership positions in the Aldine, Houston, and Spring ISDs. Dr. Brown has earned a remarkable reputation in the academic community for her laser focus on data-driven decision-making and school turnaround leadership to improve learning for all. Her formal education consists of a Bachelor's of Arts degree in education from the University of Houston, a Master of Education degree from Prairie View A&M University, and the Doctor of Philosophy degree from Prairie View A&M University. She currently holds the position of Assistant Superintendent of High Schools in the Spring ISD, a district of 34,000 students. Dr. Brown's educational perspective is quite comprehensive. She was a classroom teacher for 11 years in the Aldine district. Additionally, Dr. Brown has served as a literacy skills specialist, middle school assistant principal, and high school principal and executive director of academics. Throughout her long and exceptional career, Dr. Brown has provided overall strategic leadership and support in research, coordination, planning and implementation, and evaluation of systems. Everywhere she has worked, she has made the system better and student learning more meaningful. Each of Dr. Brown's references praised her leadership and the ability to collaborate and get results. I strongly believe Dr. Brown will serve our district in a unique and respectful fashion as Deputy Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, and I ask that once again you join me in welcoming Dr. Rebecca Brown to our LaPorte family. Dr. Brown. Did you bring any guests?
You know, I apologize, Board President and Dr. Jackson, board members. My son is trying out for football.
Okay.
So he did not, so my husband was my son, but I am blessed and honored to be part of the LaPorte community and schools. Dr. Wally, I'm going to learn from you. I've got big shoes to fill. I know that, but I'm here to learn. I'm here to support all of you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, board, seek a motion.
I make a motion that we hire both of these great individuals to join the LaPorte Bulldog Nation.
Okay, Ms. Thompson made a motion, seconded by Mr. Shoppy, and so call for the vote is unanimous. Thank you so much. Welcome to LaPorte ISD, and if y'all would mind coming up, we'd like to have a picture with you.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't blame him. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look at the little one, just skipping. That's awesome.
Okay, we will now go back to item 6, public comments. The board will now hear those who wish to make comments and who have completed and returned the public comment participation request. This section will be conducted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act and board policy. Complaints and concerns for which other resolution channels are provided shall be directed through those channels. Ms. Thompson, do we have anybody wishing to
Yes,
speak? All right.
yes, we do. We have 3, actually. First would be Emma Thompson, and I'm not going to read her whole address for privacy reasons. Lives in LaPorte, and she would like to speak to us about restroom accessibility.
Okay.
Emma, if you come up to the mic right there, please. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Is there a mic that's right there that you can?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pull that mic
Yeah.
towards you, babe.
You see that? Yeah, that one.
Yeah. There you go.
Just stand here.
Perfect.
Good evening, board. I am an athlete at LaPorte High School. I participated in soccer for 4 years, and for each of those years, I've never seen a female restroom in the weight room. And though our locker room has a connected bathroom, we find ourselves not able to use it at times. The track girls often change in the stalls of the bathroom, which causes us to not be able to use it. We have to be at the field at a certain time, so puts us at a disadvantage. After warming up on the field, we go to the weight room on Tuesdays and Thursdays during the off season. Due to the distance from the weight room to the locker room being so far away, we are told to hold it. This is very aggravating because most of us go the whole day without using the bathroom in order to not lose precious class time, and because the bathrooms are locked during passing period. This is also infuriating because we know that if there was a closer bathroom that was open, we would be able to relieve ourselves in any emergency. I sincerely hope you take our concerns into consideration, not just for the girls soccer athletes, but for all LPHS female athletes. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.
Okay, and our next speaker is Rosie Thyler. Is that right? Okay. She also lives in LaPorte, and she has another bathroom issue to speak with us about.
Hi, good evening. My name is Rosie Thaler. First of all, thank you, Board, Dr. Jackson, for all that you do for our students at LaPorte ISD. We all know it's a challenging time to navigate and stay in the course during these challenging times. I have 2 children at LaPorte ISD, Alexis and Connor, and my reason for being here tonight is to address the issue that I feel is very important for our girl athletes and our women coaches. The Bulldog House is used by our students for weight training, does not have a bathroom for the women or the girl athletes. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Yes,
okay.
there are restrooms, but there should be a single user gender bathroom designated, one for men and one for women. It's unfair that our women coaches and our girl athletes have to run to another building to use the restroom when needed. I'm not sure the reason behind this. I have heard different stories, but that should not matter. Any building that's occupied by both genders should have a restroom to be used. The women coaches and girl athletes of LaPorte ISD should be respected and treated equally as our men coaches. Another issue that is very important is the fact that the old gym and the old locker rooms where the girls are track, soccer, are infested with roaches, bats, and mice. When you hear of a mice running across your feet, that is a big concern. This has been an ongoing problem in that area. My daughter has used those locker rooms her entire time while at the high school and had a mouse in her locker that ran out as she opened it. This incident was reported. I'm not sure if any action was taken. Apparently, there's no pest management system in the place to safeguard our students and teachers, and if there is, it needs to be revised. Rodents spread more than 35 diseases. These diseases can be spread to humans. These diseases can be spread by contact with urine, drop-ins, and saliva from rodents. I believe that our cross-country track and field and soccer athletes deserve to have the same type of nice, clean area as the volleyball, basketball, and softball girls. My daughter has been in athletics for years while at LaPorte ISD. Thankfully, she will be graduating this year, but I need to speak out for the future girl athletes and all the wonderful women coaches that are employed by our district. They need a place that is clean for pests and mice race, where there's no pests, and a nice restroom for them to use during their training our daughters. I do understand that the new bond goes through, there might be a remodeling to that area. And honestly, if it doesn't, I hope that you will do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, last speaker this evening is Christy Thompson, also lives in LaPorte, and she would like to speak to us about restrooms as well.
Good evening. My name is Christy Thompson, and I'm a parent of 3 LP ISD students, Emma, Alyssa, and Evan. First, I would like to thank you for hearing our concerns last year regarding our head girls soccer coach. You came through with a wonderful successor. While we may not have had the results we hoped for, the entire experience was truly an anomaly from the previous years and has given us a hope for a brighter future. I come to you today to voice a concern that isn't new, as you've heard. This has been an issue for many years. Our girls need restroom access in the field house or weight room. I am the mother of 3 young ladies. 2 are varsity soccer players, and 1 will be hopefully on the golf team next year. They all have had or will have to use this facility in their respective sports for strength and conditioning. They utilize this building pretty much year-round and have to leave the building to go to the restroom in the stadium or run back to their locker room beside the old gym to relieve themselves. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's raining, and there are even times when the track team is in the restroom and the doors are locked, so they can't use those either. We are all very aware of the issue concerning the bathrooms within the high school itself. I am an educator and I know the reasons behind current restroom restrictions. However, these young ladies cannot use the school facilities. Sometimes their locker room restroom is locked, and then they don't have access to one in the weight room. Where are they supposed to go? It is no secret that biological females have specific needs, which biological males will never have. Many have had to leave school to take care of such needs because of the lack of bathroom access. This is not okay. I am begging you to find a solution for our girls. They deserve better than this. How would you feel if you were in their shoes? How would you feel if this was your daughter? I know LPISD can do better for our female athletes. These athletes make our district shine. In addition, I believe it also needs to be noted that there is a major critter problem in the locker rooms and offices by the old gym. Many girls have opened their lockers to find little friends taking residence there. This is true about the office areas too. Again, our students and staff deserve a better, a safer, and healthier place to meet, change, plan, or whatever it is they need to do to prepare for their respective competitive seasons. Can we not provide some sort of measure to alleviate this problem? I am confident in our board and our school leaders to find a solution that has everyone's best interests at the forefront. Thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson.
Okay. We'll go to item 7, reports. Dr. Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to call up, the superintendent will forego my own comments tonight because I've asked our CFO, Rhonda Cummey, to come and share some, what we believe to be some good news. And so she's going to come and share some things about hold harmless that we talk about a lot and have talked about a lot in the last 2 years through the COVID pandemic. Rhonda's going to share, and then we've got some other presentations this evening. Ms. Cummey?
Good evening. Okay, the commissioner has come out with a hold harmless for our low attendance percentage, and it's operational minutes adjustment, OMA. They're adjusting the operational minutes. But in truth, what they're doing is taking the attendance percentage, and it's called the target percentage attendance rate. And what that is that's the rate of attendance for the 4 6-week periods in 1920, right before we went out of COVID. We get that attendance percentage calculated on our first 4 6 weeks periods for our 21-22 year. If it's better, which of course it is, our average is 90.1 for our first 4 6 weeks. Our TPAR rate is 94.01, 94.0 rounded. So we'll be able to, it will help us. Now, how will that help us? It will help us to get closer to what we budgeted. So I went back and looked at some numbers. We budgeted enrollment for 6788. We budgeted ADA for 6305. Our current ADA is, well, our projected ADA without the operational minutes adjustment, and this is a projection, so keep this in mind, none of these numbers are actual how we're going to end, is 6103, which is quite a bit less than the 6305. Mm-hmm. However, with the OMA, or our TPAR adjustment percentage, it's going to be 6265, which is pretty close to what we have budgeted. For us, it's just a reduction of recapture, but because it's getting our budget where we had estimated it being. So remember, we budgeted enrollment 6788, our enrollment 6963. Keep in mind that we don't get ADA on our total enrollment,
Right.
even if they all come. Right. We have pre-K enrollment. We have about 200 pre-K students, and of those 200 pre-K students, we only get half-day funding. They came out with the early education allotment to provide all districts to go to full day pre-K. We were already doing that, so that was kind of a win for us, but it doesn't add into the ADA. So that takes it down to 68, 63. Then you have some EE students, which is early education. Some of them we get ADA for, some of them are speech only and those kind of things, but they count in our enrollment. So just keep that in mind too. That's why there's some differences. But all in all, it's going to benefit us about 162 ADA. It's going to put us almost right to where we were budgeted. So all this is very good news. And we were hoping for it. Dr. Jackson has alluded to it. And we're glad they did. Now also, they're going to give us an adjustment on our special programs. That's our bilingual early education allotment, special education FTEs, career and technology education FTEs, and pregnancy-related FTEs. It doesn't include our state compensatory education, but it will adjust these. I don't know what those numbers are. They're adjusting ADA. Some of these are FTEs, so they're kind of, I haven't seen how they're actually going to do those, but it's a good thing for us. So,
Rhonda, can you say that number again? We budgeted at 6310, and the new number that it's going to bring
6305 ADA.
6305, and they're bringing us up to 6265.
0.9.
Okay.
And let me tell you, these are preliminary numbers. I've estimated these.
No, I know.
So our campuses have been doing great on attendance the last 6 weeks. They have been really working at getting those rates up. If those rates are up, then these numbers will go up.
That's right.
Okay.
So because we're not getting any adjustment from TEA on the 5th 6 weeks and the 6th 6 weeks, I don't know what those numbers are doing. So I kind of took worst case scenario based on our first 4 6 weeks. And traditionally, as you go through the year, your enrollment goes down and your ADO goes down. Well, our enrollment's held pretty firm so far, and we're almost to the end of the 5th 6 weeks. So it's looking good. If we can just get them to start coming to school, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, that's a bit important, isn't it?
So, any other questions on that?
All in all, it's a good deal. It's a good
It's a
idea for
great
us.
thing.
Yeah,
It's a great
thing for us.
And it is going to benefit us. Some districts, I don't know who that would be, may not benefit. Because if your percentage is higher than your TPAR, then you don't get it. And before that year, we were running about 95% attendance. So the elementaries are usually around 98, the secondary are usually around 91, 92, and average together it's about 95. So we haven't seen that since COVID. So hopefully we'll start coming back to normal.
Well, it's probably a silly question, but how do we take attendance? Is it a certain time of day?
Yes.
Does it vary by campus, or how do we do that?
Yes, each campus takes attendance, and they have an attendance accounting period. And I can't tell you what it is, but it's in the morning. And it's a window that TEA gives us.
Usually
that all
before
campuses
10
have to
o'clock,
do.
right?
Yes.
Usually before 10 o'clock.
Yes.
So in the window between the 8 and 10 o'clock
And
hour.
it's same time every day, unless, I think it can be different times for testing
Testing.
days and stuff
for
like
testing.
that. But yeah, it's the same time every day. The campus takes it, the teachers take it, turn it in, and then the attendance clerk makes sure, reconciles it and everything.
I think I know why you might be asking that question, Jeff. Because I've had some folks ask me this before. So if we take attendance at 10 o'clock and a child shows up at 11:30, is that kid counted for attendance?
If they bring a medical release, yes. So like if I go to the dentist in the morning, they can go back and add that attendance for a medical, as long as they come sometime that day. If they don't come at all that day and the next day they bring a medical note, no.
Right.
What if a teacher misses that deadline?
Well, so it doesn't have, so they have to take attendance by that deadline. The attendance doesn't have to be recorded by that deadline. So they're constantly cleaning it up. If a teacher misses that deadline, I don't know. I guess that's more of a principal question. Because I'm not out there on the campuses controlling.
I've always been told as a teacher, if you miss that deadline, you don't
lose money.
Yeah.
But that's just me being told.
Or you're not reporting it.
Right?
Right. You don't want to get them in trouble with their principals, do you? I understand.
I mean, I don't feel like that's a problem, but I think the teachers are aware of the importance of attendance.
Yeah.
Well, also, I want to add, with the balance of the COVID attendance and stuff as well, the people who had to be out on quarantine because of their siblings, things like that. I know that was a big strain on the attendance clerks themselves too. So there were a few people who were like, my kid's getting, called for this. Well, it was just simple corrections. They just had to call in. So I think they handled that beautifully, but I do know that it was a lot of strain on the attendance clerks for that. So I did want to, bring that up too, because that might have affected us in some cases as well.
COVID was a lot of strain on a lot of people. It was crazy, but yes, our attendance clerks, and they all work hard, and we have good attendance clerks. So.
Rhonda, I don't know if you can give me an exact number, but what would be the impact had this hold harmless not been signed into effect? Like, how much of a financial detriment would it have been?
About $1 million.
For 9 weeks?
No.
For the whole year.
For the whole year.
Thank you.
I'm old-fashioned, Jeff. $1 million is $1 million.
Yeah, $1 million is a lot of money. I
Yes,
mean, if you break it down to teacher
Heck, yeah.
salaries, that's a bunch of teachers. So. Yeah. Any other questions? All right.
Thanks for bringing us some good news, Rhonda.
Yes, I love good news. And next month we'll start talking about the budget. We should get our values in the end of April, so we'll start talking about that.
Awesome.
We got 2 more items under the superintendent's report. That's why I forewent my my comments. But at this time, I'm going to invite Ms. Tilley to come and talk a little bit about the 9-week marking period.
Good evening. Whenever the district DAEP, that wrong committee. Maybe they should be doing the calendar. I don't know. No, whenever our DEIC met back in the fall to develop the calendar for next school year, one of the things that secondary administration and representatives brought up was the question: could we consider going to a 9-week grading period from a 6 weeks grading period? Well, at that point, it was a little early. We needed to do some research and meet with people, the stakeholders that would be impacted by that. So I've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Burke and Coach Thompson, and they were able to speak with their coaches and really talk about this and see if there was going to be an impact on that. Some of the reasoning, just very simply, the biggest reason that administration felt like the 9-week grading period would be an improvement over the 6-week is that we have gone to common assessments and really holding fast to our assessment calendars and trying to measure our students' growth. And whenever you end at the 6 weeks, and if you look closely at our calendar this year, we have 2 6 weeks that are only 5 weeks. The first 2 6 weeks are 5 weeks, and then you'll have a 6 week. And then, because in secondary, we really need the first semester to end prior to the Christmas holiday. With this calendar, we will have equally the same length of 9 weeks. That we'll have 2 9 weeks grading periods. The first semester, 2 9 weeks grading periods, and the second semester. So I feel like that will be very beneficial to our teachers, our students, our coaches, as we teach and then measure what they are learning. As I said, I spoke with Coach Thompson. I spoke with Mr. Burke. Our UIL eligibility with a 9 weeks calendar. Not that I would ever be concerned. Not that any of us would ever be concerned, but our athletes. The first, would have the first 9 weeks of the school year to be eligible, and then they would go on to the 3-week cycle because there will still be an expectation that every 3 weeks that we would do a progress report.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're going to do progress reports every 3 weeks anyway. So our parents, the timing is still going to be the same.
Ms. Tilley, I believe on the 9-week period, the 6-week progress report is the UIL mark.
Correct.
So they have to be ineligible at the 6 weeks, and then they can regain or
Every 3
lose
weeks.
At the 6 weeks, okay.
At the 9 weeks. So
Every 3
they
weeks.
can't go through the whole first 9 weeks. They got to go through the 6 weeks.
Through the 6 weeks. Okay.
So that's just for UIL purposes.
All right. Well, and that's I'm
And then it
trusting.
goes
I'm
back-
trusting
as soon as you
Coach
finish
Thompson.
that,
So
it goes back all the way to the every 9 weeks. Then.
correct.
So you're good.
Okay. It's still better than the 5 weeks that
Okay,
we had.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But we did. I mean, and this will sync us with the elementary, so everybody is getting a report card at the same time, and families can all have the same expectation.
So board, we vetted this with principals and
Yes.
coaches and band directors and choir directors and everybody. We just kind of simply want your blessing on
Yes.
this so that we can move forward, and then we can begin kind of really promoting this and sharing this with our parents and everybody.
You got it.
Were there any objections?
Not a single one. Not a single, really, truly, not a single
It's
one.
not going to be a big, you're not going to be a big difference to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then last but not least, each month, Dr. Wadley, myself, Ms. Whitfield, Ms. Tilley, Ms. Abram, Ms. Anderson, somebody's up here talking to you about our teachers and what our teachers need. Sometimes it's even our instructional coaches. And so this time, for the month of April, I've asked that we get some teachers to just come and briefly address the board on their life and what's going on in their world, because I think it's important for you to hear from teachers.
Awesome.
A lot of times you hear from me talking about what's going on with teachers and Dr. Wadley, but I think it's important that the board hear from teachers. And so we're going to invite, there are going to be 3 teachers, one from each of the levels, and so we're going to invite to the podium at this time, and y'all can all stand together if you need that moral support. But at this time, we're going to invite Miss Yolanda Joseph from College Park Elementary to come. Let's give her a hand. She needs that moral support.
Good evening, board. Thank y'all so much for having me. I would like to say greetings from College Park Elementary. This has definitely been a time of growth. In hindsight, aren't we so excited that Dr. Jackson called for return to learn? I see the benefits of just-in-time instruction instead of remediation and the benefits of our amazing district coaches. As a teacher, I chose to embrace the changes and the structures that the district leaders put into place because of the choices we have made as a district and the relationships that I'm building with my students. Our students are thriving socially and emotionally. I have parents calling and telling me how much their kids are growing socially, and that can only happen on our campuses. Our students are making academic progress. Our students are coming to school. The students and the teachers are moving from novice and beginning to become experts at using the state online platform for assessments. Campuses are opening up to parents for lunch and field day, and most importantly, our students are safer because we are able to ensure their physical and emotional safety. With these things being said, remember, it's been a long, emotionally taxing time for teachers. Leaders, please encourage and support your teachers. We need continued praise, validation, and understanding. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And from Lomax Junior High, we have Christy Bostick. Let's give her a hand as she comes.
All right, good evening, guys. So I'm here to talk to y'all, I guess, about how we're closing the gaps with instruction at Lomax. We have our weekly PLC meetings, and in these meetings as teachers, we analyze our data from unit tests. We work together to create these engaging lessons to hopefully raise student achievement. Our instructional coaches, they work effortlessly by our side to aid us in our classroom, and we greatly appreciate them. This process and support has shown a positive improvement with student learning. On our campus, we also have enrichment period that we use to create specific tutoring groups, targeted lessons for our students that need this instruction. This time we also we work on our social skills through our Character Strong program. Another enrichment opportunity is through our Saturday M3 tutorials. This opportunity is open to all students seeking any additional support to meet their academic goals. As we move through the remainder of the year, it's important that we continue to partner with our parents while we work towards closing this gap. The work we do at school to build relationships and help students to become the best versions of themselves can only be achieved if they're present and on our campuses. Therefore, we value our parent support greatly. So thank you to the parents for getting them to school day in and day out, and with their ongoing support and trust that allow us teachers to educate the children of LaPorte ISD. Because without their support, our hands would be tied. So we appreciate them. I want to give recognition to our campus principals who provided these resources and time to their teachers to be prepared in the classroom. I'm fortunate to have Dr. Griffin, Dr. Crespo, and Ms. Brown, they made me put that in there, leading our campuses towards these instructional goals, because without them, they would make our jobs ever more difficult. But even with this added support in the classroom, us teachers were still filling our plates with new responsibilities unlike before. We're not only teachers, but we're counselors, coaches, friends, role models, and so much more to these students day in and day out. We're continually monitoring their achievement, building these social capacity, and working to create a partnership at home and at school, all while trying to balance our personal lives into this mix. But although these added initiatives may put a strain on us teachers, I know that we'll rise to meet our goals. I know this because we've overcome so many things in the last couple of years, proving that each of us are exceptional and determined to be a positive influence in the lives of each and every one of our students. So thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
And lastly, we will have Ms. Kristen Williams from LaPorte High School.
I talk in front of teenagers all day, so you'd think I would be made of steel, but I'm still a little nervous, so bear with me. Good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you today. My name is Kristen Williams, and I am finishing up my third year of teaching English 1 at LaPorte High School. I chose to teach English in order to cultivate empathy in students through literature, along with a love of reading. I recognize this is a lofty goal, but it is incredibly important, and I am up for the challenge. With the time I've been given tonight, I want to tell you about a few challenges we've faced this year and how we overcame them. One major opportunity for growth we face every year is writing. As you know, English 1 is a STAR-tested course that includes an essay section. This, along with the fact that writing is an important part of life, means we spend a great deal of time writing. Our 9th grade students this year are in a unique position because they have missed writing instruction due to COVID. The last time they had to write an essay for the STAR would have been in elementary school as opposed to 7th grade. Because of this, we started this year with a gap that needed to be filled. In order to address this in my classroom, students write a daily journal entry. Students struggle with putting their thoughts down on paper, just in general, so this helps them do so in a low-stress situation. As an English 1 team, we also assign high-interest prompts along with student-selected prompts that allow students to pull from their experiences and explain what they think. We emphasize the importance of being able to clearly state your opinion on a topic and provide evidence to support your thinking. We also study the STAR rubric and sample essays to give students a clear picture of what is expected of them. As a larger group, the English department also met as a team to calibrate and strengthen our skills. 9th grade students completed their exam today, and I am confident that we have prepared them to do their best. And the things that I saw today, this isn't on my paper, I'm going a little off script, but the things that I saw today were so great, and so I'm very proud of them. Our next challenge was deepening our understanding of the TEKS resource curriculum. To tackle this, each grade level had priority TEKS to focus on that the curriculum department helped develop. The priority TEKS are not the only thing we study during the year, but they are the foundation of student learning in English. We've used our professional learning community times to deeply look at what we want students to know and how we know they've learned it. This has helped us begin to refine backward design and alignment across grade levels. We also completed a 2-week STAR Blitz focusing on our priority TEKS that we designed with the help of our instructional coach, Marissa Kine. Marissa has been a valuable resource this year.
Yay.
Last but certainly not least, a continuing challenge we face is engaging students in reading and creating a culture of readers. To cultivate this in my classroom, I have implemented First Chapter Friday. So one Friday a month, my students vote on a young adult novel that we read together in class. I show them book trailers and summaries to help them choose and include student-suggested choices. My hope is that students will become engaged and want to continue reading the book on their own time. I can proudly say this has worked with a few students, and that was a major win for me. As a team, my fellow English 1 teachers and I chose high-interest YA and graphic novels to read in class this year. This is a continuing effort as a department and school, as building a reading culture does take time. I know that Dr. Jackson is also focused on growing literacy. In order to do this, we need to give students access to robust classroom and school libraries. Right now, classroom libraries are largely teacher-built. As readers ourselves, we pick up copies of interesting reads to keep in our classrooms whenever we stumble upon something new. Students need and deserve more than teachers can afford on their own. It is my sincere hope that more dollars can be put into these libraries as we continue to nurture a culture of literacy in LaPorte. In closing, I thank you again for this opportunity to speak. I'm excited to continue growing professionally here at LaPorte, and I look forward to continue growing critical readers, writers, and thinkers. Thank you.
Thank you.
That will conclude the superintendent's report. Okay.
See, we're easier than teenagers.
Yeah. But thank y'all.
Thank
I
y'all
want all
so
of those
much.
teachers to show back up next month. Y'all make me look really good.
Okay, we'll go to item 7C, Board Offers Report. Number 1, Trustee Continuing Education Training Hours Report, and I'm borrowing Mr. Shoppy's computer here to read the report. For some reason, I can't pull up the attachment, but under State Board of Education rule, completing required continuing education each year of service is a basic obligation and expectation of any sitting board member. The board president is required to announce the name of each member who has completed, exceeded, or is deficient in meeting the required continuing education. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off each board member's name and then give how many hours or completion. Tier 1 hours was orientation for new members or legislative updates for experienced members, and that'll be either completed or not completed. Tier 2 hours is the team building, board, and superintendent. Tier 3 hours is board development, and Tier 4 hours is evaluating and improving student outcomes. That's biannually required. David Yonda, Tier 1 completed, Tier 2 0 hours, Tier 3 45.25 hours, Tier 4 completed. Deanne Thompson, Tier 1 completed, Tier 2 0 hours, Tier 3 29 hours, Tier 4 completed. Russell Shoppy, Tier 1 completed, Tier 2 0 hours, Tier 3 13 hours, Tier 4 completed. Melissa Crutcher, Tier 1 completed, Tier 2 0 hours, Tier 3 12 hours, Tier 4 completed. Jeff Martin, Tier 1 completed, Tier 2 0 hours, Tier 3 14.5 hours, Tier 4 completed. Chris Murdoch, Tier 1 hours, not completed, Tier 2 0 hours, Tier 3 7 hours, Tier 4 not completed. The hours shown above are for the period beginning April 9, 2021, and day of the last board officer report and ending March 31st, 2022. And I'd like to just add a comment that we did have a team building meeting on August 14, 2021, but since that was not led by a trained presenter, that did not count to our Tier 2 hours. So just let the board know on that. Do you have any questions or comments concerning the trustee training hours report?
That team building might not have been led by a certified trainer, but it was a very valuable team building anyway.
Yes. I agree.
So with the Tier 2 is all team building?
Yes.
Also 0 hours, that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
We'll get that rectified.
Yes, we will. Okay, we go to item 8, consent agenda. A, determine and approve any consent agenda items.
Stand by just a
Okay,
second.
sure.
No, I don't have my little consent sheet. That's okay. Go ahead. I'll go from here.
Okay. You want to go ahead? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. We've got item B, approve board meeting minutes. Number 1, regular board meeting minutes, March 1st, 2022. 2, special board meeting minutes, March 7th, 2022. C, receive principal reports. 1, Early Childhood Center. 2, Bayshore Elementary. 3, College Park Elementary. 4, Heritage Elementary. 5, Jenny Reed Elementary. 6, LaPorte Elementary. 7, Leo A. Rizzuto Elementary. 8, Lomax Elementary. 9, James H. Baker 6th grade campus. 10, LaPorte Junior High. 11, Lomax Junior High. 12, LaPorte High School. 13, Bill DeWalt High School. D, receive financial reports for February 2022. E, receive human resources report. F, approve employment of professional staff. G, approve budget amendment. H, approve agreement for participation in Sourcewell Purchasing Cooperative. I, approve 2022-2023 allotment and TEAC certification form. J, approve application for staff development minutes waiver. K, approve authorized representative ad form amending Lone Star authorized representatives. L, approve LaPorte ISD District of Innovation Renewal Plan 2022 to 2027. M, approve a proposed amended 2022-2023 academic calendar. I'd like that pulled, please.
Okay.
N, approve proposal and purchase of E-rate WAN/dark fiber for fiscal year 2022-2023. O, approve purchase of laptop charging carts. P, adopt a resolution number 2022-05 for schools and libraries universal services E-rate for 2022-2023. Q, adopt a resolution number 2022-06 amending text pool authorized representatives. Ms. Thompson, do you mind reading back the consent agenda?
Sure. Consent agenda items include 8, B, 1 and 2, C, 1 through 13, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, N, O, P, and Q.
Okay, seek a motion.
So moved.
Ms. Thompson made a motion.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Shoppy. A call for the vote. It is passed unanimous. Thank you. Okay, we go to item M, approve proposed amended 2022-2023 academic calendar. Ms. Till, I have one question on M. Pull it up real quick. I'll make sure I think it was September 16th. It was an early release day, if I remember correctly. I don't have it up here, but
last year or this
no, for this one, for the coming year.
Right. So it's a Friday, September. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just curious. What's for the early release day? What was the reason for that?
Professional development.
Okay, that's all.
And that is part of the waiver that we just have one early release.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you. That's all.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, with that, board, seek a motion.
So moved.
Ms. Thompson made a motion.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Shoppy. A call for the vote. It's passed unanimous. Thank you. We go to item 9B, approve term and non-certified contract recommendations for certified teachers, administrators, and professionals in pay grades 1 to 7. If any discussion, I seek a motion.
So moved.
Ms. Thompson. Okay, Ms. Thompson made a motion, seconded by Mr. Shoppy. Call for the vote. Is adopted unanimous. Thank you. We go to item 9C, discuss and take possible action on future board meeting dates. Mr. Murdoch could not be here this evening. There is a change with his work schedule, and he would like to request if the board would possibly go to a second Tuesday of the month as opposed to the first Tuesday of the month. So that is up to the board if they would be willing to make that change for, and this would be effective for the next time we meet in May.
Then you'll definitely need a special meeting. So we're going back to basically second one, holding the fourth one in case we need a workshop kind of deal?
That's correct.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that.
How does that affect the you guys are trusting?
Well, I mean, we made the changes trying to accommodate folks, and so I guess my question would be, will this be, because we were gonna have some conversations about moving forward, where were we gonna be? Is this going to be how we move forward for the rest of the 22-23 school year? That would be my question to the board.
I think that's imperative we do it that way.
Yeah.
I think once we go, we just
Yeah.
need to be in one, I mean.
One or the other.
Yeah, because what happens is, we also have legal counsel that needs to be here for those
Right.
things. And
Yes.
so we're throwing a lot of schedules off. I get it that we're
Right.
trying to accommodate, but in that process. And so we'll make it happen if that's what the board's pleasure, if that's the board's pleasure.
Okay. Well, with that, if there's not any further discussion, I'd like to seek a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Shoppy made the motion to move to the,
To the second Tuesday of each month.
Okay.
Second and fourth Tuesday.
Did Chris, his schedule's changed a couple times. Is he clear that this would work for him? For
Yes.
sure? Okay.
Good question, Jeff.
yeah. So, okay, we have a motion by Mr. Shopping, and it's
Second.
seconded by Mr. Martin. Call for the vote. Okay, it is approved unanimously. Thank you. We go to item 9D, discuss and take possible action on mesh backpacks and student dress code. And I'm going to pass it off to Ms. Crutcher, if you don't mind, kind of lead us on the 9D. That's right.
No, it's all good.
Let me
It's all
invite
good.
Yeah.
Ms. Whitfield and Ms. Tilley to the podium, and because they can help us, because they supervise the campuses, and if there's
Yes.
any questions, they can help us with those questions.
So sorry. No, okay, sorry. I had to
We're
get to
having
my point.
trouble with our agendas.
No, I just was I was trying to make sure.
It's
Okay.
just-
Um,
Oh, you can't pull up the backups?
Yeah.
It could be don't have Chrome on there. That may be the issue.
Oh, okay.
No.
let's see.
Because that was what yours is. too.
Yeah, that's what I'm having the same thing.
Oh,
He's got
okay.
Chrome.
Okay, but we're on B, right?
Yes, we're
I'm
on
just okay, hold on. Here we go.
D, 9D, your top.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I just.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I was like,
all right.
it's not coming up, but then we were down. Sorry. Yeah, I know that we've been in mesh backpacks and clear backpacks for a while. I have been doing some independent research, talking to some other schools, parents, different things like that. I just, in the interest of some, going back to a little bit of normalcy, if you will, for children, and them having a little bit of the ability to have a little bit of creativity with their, backpacks and things like that, but also the consistency across all of the schools. I've noticed of being on multiple campuses, there's not a consistency on the backpacks themselves. So just consider, the consideration of possibly going back to regular backpacks. And of course, it's not something, obviously I want to know what our educators, think about that, and if they feel like they're policing, or if they're blowing it off, or whatever it may be. But it's just one thing that when it comes down to it, we are a Title I district. A lot of the parents can't afford to keep buying clear backpacks that are falling apart, and they do fall apart regularly. I've replaced multiple backpacks during this time, and I'm grateful that I'm blessed to be able to do so, but some parents can't. Some parents can't afford the first backpack for the year. So I just wanted to kind of bring that back up and bring that option up for consideration.
We initiated the clear and mesh backpack really in response to the tragedy in Santa Fe. And at that point, we all became very hyper sensitive or diligent about safety.
Yes.
And frankly, it just, it hasn't come up in a discussion since then. So other than at the beginning of the year, parents fretting because we can't find a clear or mesh backpack. But truly, that's...
And we do take the dress code to
Yes.
DEIC every year.
Correct.
So we present the dress code at DEIC every year before
Correct.
we publish and approve the dress code. So we certainly, I don't think our principals have any.
Is there a preference? Again,
I don't
it's
think
just
they have a
something-
preference.
so.
I don't think they have a preference. They.
As I said, at
So
that
we can
point,
certainly-
you know how we all felt. I don't know anybody
Oh,
that
no,
didn't
everybody was
feel
scared, yes.
a little desperate.
We look
And
for
it's like,
anything we
what else
can.
can we do?
At that
So,
Right.
Is
Like I
it
said,
is it a mandated thing from the state or
No,
the federal? It's
no,
just a
we-
no, I mean,
district by
I
district?
think
No,
some
it's
of the
a district
comparisons
thing.
we have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and Mr. Shoppy can help me with this, Deer Park has regular backpacks. So
Pasadena
even right
has
next
them
door,
regular, too.
they're regular
Pasadena as
backpacks.
well.
Pasadena, Friendswood, so it's just a matter of, okay, my friends
Sure.
get to do it, that kind of
Right.
thing. But also, like I said, being a Title I district, that's a lot of extra expense for some of our parents. So, just,
Can you,
consideration.
Ms. Crutcher may not know, or maybe she does, I don't know. Can you refresh our memory who all is on the DEIC committee, just for her, so she'll feel a little better about the decisions?
Sure. Each one of our campuses are represented by either an administrator, the principal, or an assistant principal. Then parents are also on the committee from each campus, and then we have teacher representatives on the committee, and then some central office staff.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
it's a nice
40,
cross section.
just about
40, yeah, about 40, 45 people.
Attend.
Mhm.
Got it, okay.
Oh, nice.
It is the best, most representative group I've ever.
Well-oiled machine.
United Nations.
I'll say this as I mean, if you're saying that maybe the principals or the people are kind of indifferent in terms of yay or nay, I have a first grader and a third grader with clear backpacks, and every single day it's amazing. I mean, we help them load their backpacks, and they come home with stuff with like snacks and treats. There's all kinds of stuff in those backpacks that dad doesn't know about. And so if somebody wanted to truly carry a weapon or whatever it is, you still, I mean, my point is you can still hide anything you want to hide in those clear backpacks. So to me, if it's a burden on anybody, whether they have to monitor it or parents have to stress about it,
Sure.
again, I don't know we're at that stage yet, but I'm definitely in favor. If it's not a mandate and the principals and you guys aren't fully opposed to it, I would support going back to regular.
I was going to ask Officer Novosad, I did kind of just give him a heads up that I was going to ask him to come, and if there's anything
Hi.
that he'd like to share, I'm not stacking the deck because I think most of us are indifferent about that, but just wanted you to hear from him.
Yeah, I would love to share that we get rid of backpacks and carry computers only. That would be great.
Got
But
it.
I digress. So
And there's another option. Good job, Matt.
So the backpack thing, yes. So it's kind of complex. So like Mr. Martin said, you have a clear mesh backpack, but what else is in there? Lunch kits, pencil pouches, whatever else could be in there to hide anything that you want to, whether it's weapons, drugs, anything can be hidden inside of a clear backpack. Now, do I look at clear mesh backpacks when kids are walking the hallway? Absolutely, just to see. But if you really get to looking at what you can physically see in those things, it's almost impossible to see anything. So for me, as far as safety and law enforcement, does clear mesh backpack going to make a big difference? No, is my professional opinion on that. So I'm a support if we go back to regulars. For my officers, it's just we have other things that we are leading with other than what color or what type of backpacks the kids are carrying. So that's what I have.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you. Appreciate
When
it.
is the next DEIC meeting?
It's in May.
It's the last one. It's going to be in
For a
May.
year.
Yeah, it'll be in May.
And will that be the discussion point at that time about
We will
those
make it-
things?
We always make it the last one and then publish the school.
Okay.
For the next year.
Because I know we usually approve those things during the summer, so.
Well, we actually post the dress code usually
In the handbook.
right in
In the
right
handbook,
before.
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's in the handbook in the fall, but we put this out so parents can shop over the summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know,
As
it's
soon as-
hard.
Well, they'll have-
Right, oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well-
But this gives you time to make this a discussion point with,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
good.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Like
I said,
think
for
the principals
consideration.
Either way have expressed, like Sergeant Noble said. We're just glad that they come to school.
Yeah, I think, well, I was gonna say, I think that's our biggest thing is if we can get them to school,
Just
if
to
they're
be
gonna
honest
carry
with you, we're just
a
glad
mermaid
that
backpack or a clear backpack, they might come with that mermaid
Right,
backpack a little bit
we're
more.
just happy
So-
that they're
Just
showing
come,
us every
yeah.
day.
Just come.
So
Yes, please come.
from hearing our discussion, and I'm also like to express, I like to see us maybe move back to regular backpacks as well. But from what I'm hearing from the board, or for the majority of the board, that maybe would like to see that, but bring that to the DIC and take a look at that. And I don't think we need to take an action on this at all. But you kind of seen where we're at, so in our opinion. So, but thank you so much. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
bringing this up.
Yes, no, appreciate it.
Okay. So with without board objection, I'd like to move to item E. Discuss and consider appointment to fill vacant board trustee position number 2 and related actions. Seek a motion.
Okay. I make a motion that we fill the vacant board of trustee position number 2 do I give specifics or how do I?
Yes.
Yes.
With Danny Hanks, I think that he would be an asset to our board.
Okay. Ms. Crutcher has made the motion. I seek a second. Mr. Martin has seconded. Call for the vote. It is unanimous. Okay. We'll go to item 10, action on closed session items. There is no, I believe we have any items we need to take action on there. So we'll go to item 11, closing comments of the board trustees and superintendent. Bless you. A, attendance at recent district and community events. B, announcement of upcoming district and community events. And C, outstanding performance by district staff and students. And board, since this is our first time doing this in a while, what my vision of this, I'm not going to call out names. If anybody wants to speak, just go ahead and just jump right in and make your comments. I just ask that you stay within those three parameters of A, B, and C. Okay? So, board, if anybody would like to jump in with comments.
I will. I'll just say that tonight's performance from the elementary school, from LaPorte Elementary, was beautiful. It was really awesome. And I had a good time learning the xylophone, even though I did not do it quite so well.
And I apologize for our musical skills.
Yes, right. I'm used to playing a saxophone, not a xylophone. A bit different.
Okay.
Anyway.
Anybody else?
The honoring our top 100 last week, the students there are just amazing, and talking to them and everything, it just really gives you so much confidence in the students that have, again, gone through so much just in the past couple of years, and to be so resilient, and lots of familiar faces. I loved seeing so many of the faces there, and just really proud of all of our students, and just grateful to be able to honor them last week.
Awesome.
Okay. Anybody else?
I know you put these things in place for me. So this first one is under B, upcoming. So I just want to...
In case you haven't heard.
So no, I wanted to welcome Mr. Bromley and Dr. Brown. We're certainly excited to have them, but I'll be remiss if I didn't say sincere thank you to Dr. Watley and Mr. Clausen for the well-deserved retirement, the many years of service, the blood, sweat, and tears you guys have put back into our district. I know that your retirement's coming up. We're going to honor you guys, but as we welcome in the new guard, we're very appreciative of all the work you guys have done to get us to this point, right? So we're honored to be going to the future, but we fully recognize all the work you guys put in to get us to this point. So we thank you guys sincerely.
Amen to that.
And since I missed last month, we had in February Dr. Jackson and his team. A lot of people made this happen. We had a state of education at the Bulldog Center. We were honored to have Dr. Jackson come and as part of our Chamber of Commerce, do a state of education. He represented our district in a phenomenal way, and it was amazing. A lot of those people that came, we had 200 people there, and a lot of them had never been to our Bulldog Center. And so to see them and them kind of be in awe of all the things. And Mr. Burke had a really cool display of the rodeo art. I talked to him, and he actually agreed that we could display some of these artworks at our Chamber of Commerce building going forward. So we're really thankful for that. The other thing that I had, we appreciate. I know we can't go back and forth with anybody that spoke tonight, but we appreciate the citizens and the students that got up and spoke. And,
yes.
We have full trust in Dr. Jackson and his team that they will address those issues. And the last thing, and that's kind of silly, but I just want to recognize all of the staff. I mean, it's impressive that you guys, the acronyms that you guys can keep up with.
Amen.
I mean, I really need like a acronym for dummy worksheet. And if we can make that happen, that would be awesome.
Acronym for dummies.
I second that.
There are a lot of them.
So many.
First, I'd like to say what an outstanding performance by LaPorte Elementary students, and let's give them another round of applause for an excellent performance. I'd like to also thank our assistant principals for the job they have been doing all year, and in all. I know it's been a rough year, but I know they've been working hard and doing what's best for students. And as far as upcoming, I do have a legislative advisory council meeting that I'll be going to this Saturday in Austin. I'll be representing Region 4 and LaPorte ISD and looking at educational issues going towards this state of Texas with the legislative session coming up in 2023. And with that, if there are no further comments from the board, we will now adjourn at 8:31